I don't know much about how our tax system works.
I know that it's bad for poorer people, and that's about all I kind of know.
We don't get taxed on our income, right, in the state of Washington, but we do pay a sales tax.
As somebody who studies economics and studied economics in college, I understand that Washington State has the most regressive tax structure in the country, the most.
Oh, are we at 50 out of 50? Oh my gosh, okay.
That the poorest people in our state pay 7 times what people like me pay. It troubled me.
Where do we start? That's the problem. That's the thing. We don't know exactly where to start.
All of us can talk about, the ways that we want to improve our schools or our healthcare or our environment, but if we don't address this upside down tax code, we're actually not going to get where we need to go.
Our tax code was written in the 1930s, and it was written at a time when we could not have imagined the kind of wealth and the degree of wealth that we have now.
The fact of very old laws that are still implemented is ludicrous.
The only reason they are upheld is because they address the ideology of people who want to hold on to their money.
But then schools are scraping by having bake sales is a crime. It's literally a crime.
I don't see how people really can support something, can support a tax code like that puts struggling people in a harder place than people who can, afford anything that they want.
The top tier, those folks kind of get away with a lot.
So I actually think of the middle class and the lower middle class as the ones who are most impacted by tax policy. Paying taxes kind of creates that sort of social safety network that we all need and benefit from, even if we don't realize it.
If you don't fund your government organizations, that's when you notice the cracks forming. And that's when you see potholes, that's when you see failing schools.
It's not just that it's the wrong way to do things, it just doesn't add up.
I've gone and I've met with the other teachers of the year from across the country, and we talk, and there's better ways of doing it.
Is it a tax break for big oil, or is it healthcare services for seniors?
I don't know that much about tax breaks, but I don't even know how they get how a company applies for them.
These are tax breaks that special interests have lobbied, and they've manipulated the tax code to kind of insert these special deals for themselves at the expense of the rest of us.
So I think we're overdue for a revision of our tax code.
I think if we had a better understanding of the way the tax system worked, we could speak more intelligently on it, So I think I'm kind of, this sort of is making me think about that.
I guarantee you 99.62% of my friends have no idea what this is, what we're here talking about.
I mean, it's okay to talk about taxes, and you can still talk about it in a way where it doesn't feel like it's boring.
Fight for the people who are living alongside you. Don't, accept a status quo in which people are actively suffering and you ignore it. Why would you?